What does accessibility look like in practice? Well, accessibility can be broken down into three overlapping concepts, and they are diversity, equity, and inclusion. Let's start with diversity. And this means considering the existence of many possible identities and differences, and that means collectively or as individuals. We might consider a person's age, whether they have a disability, whether they're neurodivergent, where they live in the world, their culture and beliefs, and what languages they speak. It could include their income, their employment status, what level of education or training they have, and what their home life is like. What about their gender and sexuality, or are they partnered or single? And do they have kids? It could even include technology or access to technology. Are they technologically literate? Do they have access to healthcare or political voice? These are just some of the ways that we can see diversity in our population. Understanding diversity is a journey of endless discovery because diversity is the norm, not the exception. Next we have equity, and this means ensuring fair treatment, equality of opportunity, and fairness in access to information and resources for all. In order for every person to have an equitable experience, their diverse needs must be accounted for, and this includes things like tools, attitudes, and options that they encounter. Imagine two people trying to look over a wall. The first person has no trouble because they're taller than the wall, but the second person, who's shorter, can't see anything. If we give the second person a tool to overcome this barrier, like a step to stand on, then both people can see from the same height. But what about if we thought about these differences before we started building? You may have heard this referred to as shift left thinking. In order to achieve this, we need to look at inclusion. And this means ensuring that a diverse range of audiences are involved and engaged at every step of the design and development process. At the minimum, inclusion means consulting these diverse groups of people in focus groups, interviews, or even feedback sessions. But ideally, inclusion involves co-creation, and this is where experts and diverse audiences collaborate and are consulted with throughout the process. At the crossroads of these three forces, we find accessibility, which means inclusion and equity for diverse people with disabilities. Take a minute now to think about some reasons why accessibility might be important to your organisation. You can even write these reasons down to remind yourself as we go.
Intopia.